have Brian Mbeumo. He's coming in the building. I'm hearing he's coming in the building at Manchester United, man. Around 62.5 million, they're saying, is the reported fee they're going to pay for him. And this is from a few different media outlets, by the way. And this is just aligning with the reports that we've seen from the last few weeks, really.
Yeah.
People were talking about maybe going to Spurs because of the manager, maybe. But I think it's a wonderful sign if Manchester United get him. He adds a lot of the things I've been asking for. Dynamic. Can score goals, has power, can get from the halfway line to the edge of the box in a 1v1 situation. That's what I want.
I mean, it seems like he's got his heart set on coming to Manchester United.
And consistently scored the last couple of years, by the way.
Yeah.
Really good numbers in the Premier League. Sorry.
But he hasn't avoided challenges as well, because he's had Risa there, he's had Ivan Toney there,
yeah.
And, he's really earned his stripes.
Well, everyone thought when Ivan Toney went, and rightly so, that where are they going to get goals from?
Yeah.
Where are the goals going to come from? Ivan Toney's the main goal getter. My man said, no, relax. Yeah. The bearded one came in.
No, stepped up. And I think now it gives you guys more depth up top.
Yeah, you've got two players who are on the right-hand side. Ahmad was terrific last season when he played before the injury. He's one of our biggest threats. I'm interested to see now where Mbeumo and Ahmad fit in this team.
Yeah, very interesting, man. Look, I don't know who's worth 60. I don't think he's worth 62.5 million, but I've got the old school mentality of the transfers. I think it's all been messed up since Neymar went from Barca
if you've
to
got
PSG,
right backs going for 50 mil.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Who ain't scoring goals,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And you've got a forward who's getting good numbers the last couple of years. It's got to, if you can't tell me he's 50 mil.
No, it's true. We bought Ben White from Brighton for 50.
50 mil, never gets a goal.
He's a good player, though.
I'm not saying he's not a good player.
Second 3 times in a row.
I agree, he's a very good player.
Okay, who else? Jadon Sancho to Fenerbahçe. So reports say that Jadon Sancho has reached an agreement with Fenerbahçe on personal terms for a salary of approximately 10 million euros. Now, Fenerbahçe will begin negotiations with Man United, with the move anticipated to be finalised positively. Now, Jadon Sancho, he's played 31 matches, scored 3 goals, and he's had 4 assists for Chelsea. I don't think those numbers are great, but I think when you look on the eye, besides the bad patches that he had, you could see really good things. You could see that he was happy to be playing. Likewise, when he was playing for Dortmund the season before. So there's a player there. He's young enough. Is it a good deal for him, Rio?
I think anywhere out of Man United is a good deal. I think he needs a permanent deal. He needs to get out. Clear your head of Man United now. It's not been what it's made up to be for you. It hasn't worked out for you.
Yeah.
Go to a new club, start again, start fresh. It's got to deliver though, man. Yeah. Got to deliver now. Like them stats there, when you look at them for the Chelsea stats, they don't read well. Do you know what I mean? I saw glimpses at Dortmund. Don't get me wrong. Where I thought, okay, he looks like he's back. I think he needs to go to a league that supports his style of playing football.
I agree.
He's a player that we've worked out since coming to the Premier League, because I wouldn't have said this before he came here, but he's a player that he needs the game can't be as fast as it is in the Premier League for him. I don't think his game is suited to that. I think he needs to get the momentum of the game to kind of shift a little bit, and the rhythm of the game to change and go up and down and bring it up and down. And then I think you see the best of him. And he needs to play in a team that retain good possession, have runners around him. He needs quite a few things, I think, for him to be able to perform, and I think he's not going to get that in the Premier League. So if this move to Fenerbahçe comes off, I just hope he goes there and he takes this opportunity.
Definitely not going to get that at Man United, that's for sure. Inter Milan and Rasmus Højlund. Breaking. Inter Milan are in negotiations with Højlund, and Manchester United cites Fabrizio Romano. Is this permanent or is this a loan?
I don't know. I think it sounds like it could be a loan, and if it is, I think Man United just have to go and get a number 9, and that's opening the doors to go and buying someone. Who that may be, we don't know. We're hearing maybe Vlahovic. We're hearing Gyökeres, obviously. Osimhen, maybe, we don't know. But
so you're pushing this Osimhen thing.
I just want to see him there. I just want to see him there, man. But we'll see. I think it will be good. I think for Rasmus Højlund, if Man United could go and get a number 9, I think if it's an experienced one, I think he should stay. But if it's not, I think go and get experience somewhere else.
No, I agree.
So they will have to make room, particularly on their wage bill, not just in their dressing room. And players they are keen to try and get off the books. Obviously, we know about Rashford, Sancho, Anthony, and this another one on the list of players that they're open to offers to this morning is Rasmus Højlund with Napoli and Inter Milan, both keen. Napoli are going to be such a key cog in lots of Premier League stuff. This sort of Premier League
I love it.
I
love it from Napoli because they know how much money they've got to spend, and they are actively, investigating all these transfers. We spoke about Garnacho, we spoke about Grealish.
Garnacho's the other one.
Yeah, they're and now Højlund as well.
And Núñez, of course, Darwin Núñez.
Yeah, absolutely. So they know what their means are. They're exploring what the best deal will be for them, and they're making contact over these type of players. I just got this really funny image with United in my head of Jim Ratcliffe with the garage door open at Old Trafford and got sort of these players sat on a picnic table out the front trying to flog them,
price tags.
Rashford, Højlund, and those and as we mentioned, Garnacho, and they're just. Please come and take them and kick off our summer window. So, and then there's Jadon Sancho to talk about as well, which, Sancho, Mourinho keen to take him to Fenerbahçe. That feels like an accident waiting to happen, if I'm being totally honest. Jose Mourinho and Jadon Sancho again. Look, would Arsenal come and have a sniff around Jadon Sancho to be the left winger like he played at Chelsea last year? Well,
to replace Martinelli.
Yeah, he's a hugely talented footballer, but that's not happened yet. I'm just being mischievous there. Yep. But there's also, obviously, we've done the report suggesting that United proposing a swap with Juventus. With Vlahovic,
for Sancho,
which to me makes perfect sense.
Yes and no, but it does feel now Sancho is at that stage. Given what's happened at Manchester United, Dortmund have sort of made it clear they don't want him back. He feels like he's fallen, not quite as intensely as this, into that Dele Alli kind of era where he's like huge money. His performances no longer warrant the money that he wants. He doesn't obviously, or not obviously to be fair, but he doesn't want to take a pay cut at this stage in his career. As soon as you start hearing teams in Turkey linked and sort of and in Italy, not necessarily the very, very top teams in Italy as well, not that Napoli and Inter Milan, of course, aren't huge sides, you kind of suggest it's because there's a lack of interest.
I don't think you're being harsh at all.
At the top level?
I said this the other day about the talent of some of these
25
players.
As well.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting with the Mourinho link because I think with him you'd say, well, special once, right? Not the special one. And like it is frustrating, but look at the Man United, the Rashford, Greenwood, Sancho were the absolute golden generation, or should have been, for the new era of Manchester United, and obviously for a variety of reasons that we won't go into, that hasn't worked out for all three, and it is a terrible shame. But now Manchester United are in this position where they have these assets that they need to shift. Yep. And if they can do a swap deal for somebody like that, get the big wages off the book, cut ties, fresh start, it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Vlahovic, I really fancy him in the Premier League as well. Right, Dino, we'll do, just very quickly, sorry. Rasmus Højlund leaving, is that premature, do you think? Because I've heard sort of mixed things from you when we've discussed him in the past.
There's a player in there.
There's somewhere. A player in there. Is Manchester United the place? Do you think it's just too late now?
I just
go somewhere else. Find your like mojo again.
Yeah, I don't think it's too late. I think he's clearly a quality footballer. It's Man United, and he was thrown in the deep end. It didn't work. It's not his fault they paid that sort of money for him. And also there are players of his age who haven't scored the goals that he's scored at that point. So it's not too late, but they're going through a change process. Yep. He wasn't an Amorim signing, and I think probably for his own sake and for the sake of Man United,
Manchester United are unwilling to let Rasmus Højlund leave on loan with an option to buy, a formula that was preferred by Inter, according to Calcio Mercato. Inter had shown concrete interest in the Danish striker as they look to strengthen their offensive department for next season. However, United's clear stance has forced the Blues to explore other targets in the transfer market. According to La Gazzetta dello Sport, Inter were the first to make contact, but Napoli have now also entered the race for Højlund as they look to reshape the attack under Antonio Conte. Italian media report that Inter were prepared to spend around €40 million for Højlund, but this offer does not seem to convince Manchester United. Højlund finished last season with 10 goals and 2 assists in 52 appearances in all competitions. United see the 22-year-old as an important part of the project and are not interested in losing him. Even temporarily, Højlund and Bony are seen as ideal partners or alternatives to Lautaro Martinez and Marcus Thuram. We previously reported that Mehdi Termes' departure is pivotal to Inter's pursuit of Højlund. The club see the Dane as his direct replacement, with Gazzetta dello Sport now claiming the Iranian is expected to leave. With financial room being carved out, Inter are preparing for a decisive summer in reshaping their frontline, one aimed at ensuring Martinez and Thuram are no longer carrying the burden alone.